Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Lord of All. My hero has hundreds of millions of supermodels. Chapter 51. You don't know that the ligers from the 8th wave were so fierce that they bit off one of my arms. Harm, that's nothing. In the end, the one-eyed bear in the 10th wave, my arrow tower pricked it into a hedgehog and it didn't even die. At the banquet and Kishin restaurant, the new lords happily talked about their experiences. I entered the challenge mode and took a look. I saw a shadow of the monsters in the 11th wave, and then they attacked my Lord Crystal. Fortunately, in challenge mode, if the Lord Crystal is attacked, it will be deemed as automatically quitting the challenge, otherwise I would be stuck in the endless world. It's exciting. I know myself and didn't enter the challenge mode. Harm, I learned a lot. There's nothing to lose anyway, as long as the troops don't block the way. You said that in the challenge mode, 11 waves are so abnormal, so how powerful does Chi-Yun have to beat 27 waves? I'm afraid one punch could kill 10 of me. Less, at least 100. The eyes of the classmates were full of envy. After becoming a lord, the gap between people became wider and wider. Boom. The sky screamed, and Su Xiao's figure retreated dozens of meters before stopping. He looked at the seven-eyed demon with a rather tired look. There are faint cracks in the infinite armor on his body. Without the blessing of a large amount of Wujian karma fire, Wujian armor is relatively weak and cannot withstand too powerful attacks. After observing the battle situation, Su Xiao said angrily, "Can you stop hitting it with your broken staff and sing some big moves, okay?" Not far away, Alicia held the World Tree of Sorrow and smashed it on the head of the six-winged fallen angel. Somehow, as a magician, she always liked close combat. Enchant a bunch of elemental damage to the staff in your hand, and then attack others. Hearing Su Xiao's complaining voice, Alicia curled her lips reluctantly. Oh well. Alicia stepped back and began to chant magic. At the same time, Su Xiao took a deep breath. He needed to buy time for Alicia. One person faces the seven-eyed demon and the six-winged fallen angel. As for the other enemies, they have been eliminated. Below, Milty is eating like crazy to replenish her angelic glow. The 10 elven marksmen were already exhausted. Boom. Attack for attack, Su Xiao no longer seeks to hurt the opponent. Successfully stopped the seven-eyed demon and six-winged fallen angel. A few minutes later, Lord, I'm fine. After Alicia finished speaking, she held the World Tree of Sorrow. A flash of light appeared in front of the six-winged fallen angel, and he suddenly smashed down. Boom. HP 21,325, fatal attack. Close black lens bracket. Aren't you still fighting in close combat? Su Xiao complained. Facing monsters that are not birds, beasts, fish, or insects, animal path cannot take effect. Fighting these enemies is particularly difficult. The ultimate move of the enchantment system is also an ultimate move. Alicia blinked, and then hit the seven-eyed demon who attacked Su Xiao with a stick. HP 21,325, fatal attack. Close black lens bracket. The powerful flesh of the demon race turned into powder under Alicia's staff. She gave her World Tree's Sorrow the ability to ignore defenses, which was very terrifying. Congratulations, you have passed the 999th wave of monsters. Do you want to continue the challenge? Close black lens bracket. Su Xiao glanced below. After eating, Milty wiped her mouth, clenched her fist and nodded. Continue. The final wave of monsters is coming, please be prepared. Close black lens bracket. Final wave. It turns out that the tide of monsters is not unlimited. Su Xiao took a deep breath. He originally wanted to see where his limit could be. Whether it is the knowledge he has learned or the encyclopedia of the heavens, he believes that the tide of monsters is unlimited. But now it seems that there are not infinite waves. It's just that no one has ever fought so many waves. Now, only he, Su Xiao, knows that there are 1,000 monster waves in total. A dark shadow appeared in the sky. Shadows covered the sky and swallowed up the sunset, plunging the world into darkness. Su Xiao frowned slightly, snapped her fingers, and lit a lamp. The light group formed by the angel's radiance was suspended in the air, illuminating the entire territory. It just can't illuminate the dark shadow. Su Xiao raised her head and stared at the shadow. Human, you are very good, you can break through to my level. The shadow speaks human language, speaking the common language of the lords of the endless world. After fighting for so long, they are all dementia monsters with no brains to attack. Su Shaoxin was so tired that this was the first time she saw someone who could speak human language. Immediately I felt energetic. Who are you? Su Xiao asked. His Tiandao terminal cannot digitize the shadow and cannot see any information about the shadow. It doesn't matter who I am. If you fail this final level, you will lose your status as a lord. Give up, you can still get 999 waves of monster rewards and ascend to the heavens. You have not yet shown your talents on the stage of the heavens. It would be a pity to die here. Are you sure you want to fight me? The deep voice of the shadow shook the space, appealing to one's deepest fears. Will the lord who survives 999 waves of monsters lose his status as a lord? That kind of fear is more terrifying than the great terror between life and death. However, Su Xiao laughed a little angrily and worked for a long time, just to persuade him to surrender. Mildy, Su Xiao called. Holding the myrti of God's wrath, the angel's radiance rose to the sky in full glory. The 12 white wings shocked shadow. Holy angel. Wrath of God. Quote. HP-1029, 0193, fatal attack. Close black lens bracket. I'm going to have a big watermelon. Can't afford it, right? A new lord who can deal tens of millions of damage. The shadow was numb, and it felt like there was something wrong inside the lord. After accumulating 999 waves of anger, the full force of God's wrath was poured onto it. With one strike of God's wrath, the world was destroyed. Congratulations, you successfully cleared the Monster Tide Challenge mode. Close black lens bracket. Rewards are being settled, please wait. Detection eliminates the shadow of the world, reward upgrade. Close black lens bracket. 100th wave reward. Legendary Samsung Space Carrier design drawing ×1. The 200th wave reward. Legendary 6-star weather controller building card ×1. The 300th wave reward. Legendary 9 stars nuclear fusion power plant building card ×1. The 400th wave reward. Epic 3-star Tongbi Lingquan building card ×1. The 500th wave reward. Epic 6 stars Forgotten Water ×100. The 600th wave of rewards. Epic 9 stars Hero recruitment card ×1. The 700th wave reward. Mythical 3-star Sun Tower building card ×100. The 800th wave reward. Mythical 6-star Lihuo Suzaku unit building card ×1. The 900th wave reward. Mythical 9 stars unknown identity token ×1. The 1000th wave of rewards. Mythical 9 stars 9 heaven slaying swords ×1. Congratulations, you have completely cleared the monster wave, obtained the achievement, World Terminator, and unlocked the only weapon, Hongmeng Holy Sword. Close black lens bracket. Congratulations, you have become the official lord, and the Tiandao terminal has opened the transmission channel to end from Blue Star. Close black lens bracket. Su Xiao looked in a daze. He finally understood why so many people compared the wave of monsters to a turning point in their lives. Just like the college entrance examination, one step to heaven and one step to hell. Now, he is going to reach the sky in one step. This monster wave settlement reward is really amazing. The most exaggerated thing is that what was obtained from that achievement was the Hongmeng Holy Sword. Open black lens bracket. Hongmeng Holy Sword. Close black lens bracket. Only exclusive, only Su Xiao can wear. Category: Weapons. Level: Mythical 9 stars. Open black lens bracket. Level: 999. Close black lens bracket. Physical strength. Close black lens bracket. Spell strength. Close black lens bracket. Skill: no level restriction, there is no level requirement to wear it. 3000 creations. Creation: Emperor Wa's Blessing. Close black lens bracket. Evaluation: Taichu Hongmeng, the sword that created the world. Close black lens bracket. Damn it, the heavenly Tao information all shows question marks, how scary must it be? Moreover, if a weapon is level 999 at the beginning, isn't it immediately invincible? Su Xiao was excited and summoned the Hongmeng Holy Sword from the weapon space. The sword is not unsheathed. Black hilt. The scabbard has 4 colors: green, red, yellow and white, with distinct layers. Seeing these colors, Su Xiao subconsciously thought of the 5 color stones used by Nuwa to mend the sky. He excitedly held the hilt of the sword and pulled it out. One pull. Can't pull it out. Although it is a weapon with no level restrictions, Su Xiao can wear it. However, with the power of Hongmeng Holy Sword, he couldn't pull it out at all. His strength is too weak. Su Xiao's face turned red from suppressing it, and she finally had to accept the fact that she couldn't pull it out. It seems that we need to improve our strength quickly. No, his strength is that of a hero. Well, Milty and Alicia, come on. Put away the Hongmeng Holy Sword, which seems invincible but is actually useless. Su Xiao's eyes moved towards another mythical 9 stars among the rewards obtained. Open black lens bracket 9 heaven destroying swords close black lens bracket. Category: Lord Swordsmanship Secrets. Level: Mythical 9 stars. Effect: After use, you can comprehend the 9 heaven slaying swords. Close black lens bracket. Evaluation: Challenge the sky. I admire your courage. Close black lens bracket. Fortunately, the swordsmanship secrets can be used directly. Su Xiao closed her eyes and used the secret book. Information about the 9 heaven destroying swords flooded into his mind. The 9 heaven slaying swords will move forward indomitably, remain unyielding until death. It seems that I am going to take up the path of swordsmanship. Fortunately, Milty also uses a sword, so he shouldn't be able to bury it. However, you need to practice your sword skills on your own. I'm afraid I won't be able to think about the life of a lord fishing in the future. The last piece of the mythical 9 stars is an unknown identity token. Let's study it again tomorrow. Su Xiao smiled slightly and collected the remaining rewards. After informing Milty and the others, they opened the Tiandao terminal and applied for transmission. Eager to return home, Su Xiao couldn't wait to return to Blue Star. He was too tired and just wanted to lie down on the familiar big bed and have a good sleep. On the street, under dim lights, a little girl sat on the stone steps, crying. She didn't understand why the police uncle said that those people's actions were legal. They are obviously bad guys and robbed Su Xiao's brother's house. Brother Su Xiao. The little girl whimpered and kept wiping her red eyes with her arms, but tears still flowed out one by one. She was so scared, so scared. Brother Su Xiao was really dead, as people said. Kid, are you still crying? A man appeared in front of the little girl, and the little girl raised her head. With a gentle smile on his face, Kei Yucheng asked softly, "What's your name?" Hearing this, the little girl looked disgusted. "I didn't tell you, you are a bad person." Hee. Kei Yucheng smiled. "Then let me take you to find your brother Su Xiao, okay?" The little girl was stunned for a moment, her eyes were dazed, and she asked tentatively, "Really?" "Of course it's true, come with me." Kei Yucheng smiled gently and reached out to grab the little girl's arm. "I don't believe you. You are the bad guy who robbed my brother's house." The little girl slapped Kei Yucheng's palm away, stood up, and ran towards the brighter street. Kei Yucheng stared at the little girl's back, the smile on his face gradually disappeared, and his eyes gradually darkened. "Run, run, why the hell don't you run away?" Kei Yucheng got angry as he said this and slapped the little girl on the face. With a thud, the little girl fell to the ground. The cold wind at night was blowing gently, and the pattering raindrops made the road wet and muddy. The little girl raised her head stubbornly, her hair disheveled, and stared at Kei Yucheng indifferently. This time, she didn't cry. "You bastard, you made me go to such great lengths." A black car stopped in front of the two people, and the door opened. Kei Yucheng grabbed the little girl's hair and dragged her to the car. "Be gentle, but don't make her yell." A head popped out of the front window, looking around furtively. "What are you afraid of? It's raining at this hour. Who can be there?" Kei Yucheng snorted lightly and continued. "This little thing has a bit of a stubborn personality. I'm afraid he won't be able to sell it for a lot of money." "It's okay, just give him some training and it'll be fine." His companion closed the car window. Kei Yucheng grabbed the little girl's hair and got into the car, preparing to close the door. Unexpectedly, the little girl who had not resisted suddenly bit him on the calf. Hiss. Kei Yucheng felt pain and subconsciously let go of his hand. The little girl kicked off her legs and ran out immediately. Grass mud horse. Kei Yucheng was so angry that he cursed loudly, took 3 steps and 2 steps at a time, rushed forward, and kicked the little girl in the back. The little girl fell into a trap and her face was covered with dirty rainwater. Little bastard, if you try again, I'll break my legs for you. Kei Yu-chung scolded angrily. With that said, he slapped the little girl again. Stop. Suddenly a soft shout came, and Kei Yu-chung's pupils shrank. I saw a woman wearing a light yellow dress, holding an umbrella, walking forward quickly. What are you doing? Let her go. Long Chow Chow glared at Kei Yu-chung. I'm teaching my children a lesson, it's none of your business. Kei Yu-chung glared back at Long Chow Chow. My own child, why didn't I know she had a relative like you? Long Chow Chow clenched her fists. At this time, the little girl raised her head and said with red eyes, Sister Chow Chow, save me. Seeing the injuries on the little girl's face, Long Chow Chow couldn't bear it anymore. Throwing the umbrella, he punched Kei Yu-chung in the chest. Be careful, she is the Lord. The person in the car exclaimed. After hearing this, Kei Yu immediately dropped the little girl and retreated, dodging the blow. Little girl, I advise you not to mind your own business. Kei Yu-chung stared at Long Chow Chow. I'll take care of it today, what? Long Chow Chow protected the little girl behind him and looked at the black car warily. She could feel the power coming from the car the moment she took action. You are looking for death. Kei Yu-chung suddenly took out a pistol from his waist and shot Long Chow Chow. Lord, so what about the Lord? I'm not going to die by his gun. For a moment, fear enveloped Long Chow Chow's heart. She was just the new Lord this year. He has not yet practiced the Lord technique, so the improvement in strength is only reflected in his fists and feet. There is no ability to face firearms at all. Boom. You're crazy, shooting in this city. It's raining. I installed a silencer. What's there to be afraid of? Long Chow Chow wailed, covering her legs and squatting down. The other party didn't aim deliberately and just hit her thigh. However, the blood flowed like a steady stream, and the heat brought by the bright red blood could not dispel the coldness and fear in her heart. She is a lord and she is not afraid of death. But she was afraid that the little girl would be caught. Don't think that just because you are a lord, you can do whatever you want. We can have 100 or 1,000 ways to make your life worse than death, and you can't even ask for death. Kei Yu-chung's cold words made Long Chow Chow's heart feel cold. As he spoke, he pulled the little girl's hair and lifted the little girl up. You can't take her away. Long Chow Chow said stubbornly. If you keep meddling in other people's business, I'll take you away with me. Kei Yu-chung said threateningly. The Lord is not afraid of death and cannot be killed. Capturing him will be a big trouble. If killed, he will be resurrected from the Lord Crystal of the endless world. Raindrops fell one drop at a time. Long Chow Chow watched Kei Yu-chung twist the little girl away, getting closer and closer to the black car. She roared angrily and rushed forward regardless of the injury caused by the bullet in her thigh. Court death. Kei Yu-chung noticed the movement, turned around and shot again. This shot hit Long Chow Chow's stomach. Boom. The wet figure stood in front of Long Chow Chow and blocked the shot. His face was expressionless, like a mentally ill patient with no emotions. Su Shen. Long Chow Chow was shocked. She thought Su Xiao had died in the endless world. Damn it, how did this guy show up? The people in the car were stunned and felt that something was wrong. Kei Yu-chung, come back quickly, take that girl and run away, stop the ink stains. Kei Yu-chung snorted, aimed at the figure and fired several shots. The figure turned around without a muffled groan and looked at him expressionlessly. Brother, the little girl murmured softly. Whoa, the invisible sword energy flashed away and chopped off Kei Yu-chung's left hand. Ah, his face was distorted and he screamed. Taking this opportunity, the little girl ran to Su Xiao's side. She raised her head, looked at Su Xiao, and grabbed Su Xiao's trouser legs. Brother, it's my fault. I shouldn't run around. Let's go back. Don't be angry, the little girl said with concern. She knew that her brother had a history of mental illness and should not be too stimulated. Not going back. My home is gone, where can I go back? Tonight, I want to see rivers of blood. Su Xiao waved her hand, and a branch of a willow tree by the road broke off and floated into her hand to use as a long sword. His eyes burst out with intense murderous intent. Rivers of blood. Little boy, are you too arrogant? On the black car, a bald man got out and stared at Su Xiao with unkind eyes. I heard that Kei Yu-chung had business here, so I stopped by to pick it up. Unexpectedly, this matter became more and more troublesome. Two lords witnessed it, one of them was extremely powerful. Fortunately, they are just young people. He knew all the young people in Qingzhou with their backgrounds. Therefore, these two people cannot make any trouble. Master Ji, kill him. Ke Yucheng held his left shoulder, his face twisted, and he stared at Su Xiao, his eyes tearing apart. Well, you guy, you're just dragging your feet and provoking two lords to come over. What's the point of killing the lord? It's better to kidnap him. The bald man strode towards Su Xiao. He twisted his neck and moved his wrist, making a clicking sound. Seeing this, Ke Yucheng's eyes showed pleasure. Master Ji was once a level 32 lord with unfathomable strength. In the endless world, when a lord encounters danger, he can give up his territory, give up his identity as a lord, and return to the original world. Moreover, the lord's skills and levels he has practiced will be retained. Therefore, even if a powerful lord is eliminated by the endless world, returning to Blue Star, he can still dominate a team with his personal strength. It's just that in this universe, there is no energy such as spiritual energy and magic power, so it is impossible to practice. Therefore, their state will remain stagnant throughout their lives. Unless you have the ability to travel to other universes where you can practice, you can continue to improve your cultivation. The lords on Blue Star obviously do not have the power to cross the universe. They were eliminated by the endless world and all stayed in Blue Star, no longer making any progress in their cultivation. Nonetheless, it is a force that cannot be underestimated. This bald man is one of them. Master Ji, break his left hand first. Ke Yucheng shouted. After capturing these two lords alive, he must let them know that life is worse than death. What do you mean you can't even commit suicide? Facing Ke Yucheng's shouting, the bald man smiled slightly. He looked at Su Xiao playfully and said, "Are you going to use this willow stick to fight me? It's more than enough to kill you." Su Xiao said expressionlessly. He didn't want them to die too quickly. That would be too cheap for them. The pain must be felt, the despair must be felt. Death too soon is actually a relief. Su Shen, he is not a lord. If you kill him, you will die. Isn't this bad? Long Chao Chao reminded worriedly. So what's the problem? Su Xiao looked calm. The bald man laughed angrily. Where are the two stupid green lords here? Do you really think that after becoming a lord and improving your strength, you will become lawless? Yes, becoming a lord will greatly improve your strength. Just by increasing the level, he is 100 times or 1,000 times stronger than ordinary people. But, in this era where all the people are lords, who has not been a lord? The bald man stretched out his hand and grabbed Su Xiao's shoulder. As soon as he grabbed it, his little arms and legs would probably be crushed to pieces. Shua, twigs of willow branches fell downwards. The bald man flew up with a broken arm. He looked blankly at his right arm. His lord technique is a body training technique. The body is so powerful that it is harder than steel. How could it be covered by a thin wicker? The doubts in the bald man's heart even outweighed the pain of his broken arm. People who practice physical training are not afraid of pain. Seeing this, Su Xiao's eyes were slightly disappointed. He waved the wicker 3 times casually. Danger. The bald man's eyes became frightened. Just as he was about to dodge, he couldn't feel his limbs anymore. All his limbs were severed and turned into a human stick, which fell into the rain with a thud. A strong sense of fear made the remaining torso tremble. Long Chao Chao on the side quickly covered the little girl's eyes. Not far away, Ke Yucheng looked at this scene, his legs trembled, and he peed in fear. He turned around and was about to get in the car, but unexpectedly the black car had already stepped on the accelerator and sped away. This bastard! Swish, swish, swish. The willow branches fell in 4 places. 3 sword energies chopped off Ke Yucheng's remaining limbs. The remaining one swept past the black car in the distance and split it into 2. Boom! The explosion of the car disturbed the sleeping people. One after another, the residents got up from their beds and looked out the window in confusion, looking at the fire on the car wreckage. Damn it, who is so unlucky to be struck by lightning while driving on the road? Under the night, Su Xiao stared at the fire in the distance with an expressionless face. It's cheaper for them. With that said, he stepped over the bald man from Rengan and walked towards Rengan Ke Yucheng. You, devil, you are not human at all. Help, help. Despair filled his heart. Kei Yucheng screamed with fear on his face, tears and runny nose running down his face. Kei Yucheng's loud shout attracted the attention of people who had just woken up. Although the street lights there were dim and they couldn't see clearly what was going on from the windows of the building, someone still called the police immediately. You, Ji Lejai, will not let you go. Kei Yucheng trembled as he looked at Su Xiao who was approaching step by step. He wanted to retreat, but he could only squirm. Rest assured. They'll keep you company. As Su Xiao's cold voice sounded, the sound of wicker breaking through the air came. Su Xiao quickly waved the wicker in her hand. 10 blows, 100 blows, 1,000 blows. The wicker turned into an invisible phantom and danced 10,000 times before stopping. Cut into pieces by 1,000 cuts, Kei Yucheng was no longer human, but he was still alive, his skin was torn apart, and there was not an inch of intact skin on his body. Not far away, Long Chao Chao looked worried. Jia Lejai is an extremely huge force in Qingzhou, and it is complicated. It was established by Lin Zhongping from Qingzhou. Lin Zhongping is one of the top 10 lords in Qingzhou. Alas, after offending such a huge force, Su Shen's future may not be easy. Su Shen's level must have exceeded level 10, and he has practiced the lord technique. People like this have a bright future. What a twist of fate. Long Chao Chao looked at the rain on the road, mixed with blood. It looked like a river of blood. Su Shen, you are so amazing. Let's run quickly, Long Chao Chao said quickly. She knows that Su Xiao is very strong now, very strong. However, no matter how strong he is just a new lord who has been developing for 7 days. Keep your life alive and don't worry about running out of firewood. Sooner or later, he will rise in the future. If you gamble your youth here, it will be a big loss. Long Chao Chao didn't know how strong Su Xiao was. The Lord's Heavenly Dao Terminal cannot digitize life outside the endless world. Therefore, she cannot see Su Xiao's data. You can't see how much health the bald man and Kei Yucheng have lost. But looking at it like this, death is not far away. Murder. This has violated the laws of Kyushu. Long Chao Chao, this is my business. You can take Luoluo and leave first. Su Xiao knelt down and gently touched the little girl's head. This little girl was named by him. She said she had been lost and left behind. Therefore, he named her Su Luoluo. Brother, I won't leave. Su Luoluo hugged Su Xiao. Her eyes were already red from crying, and there were injuries on her face and body. Su Xiao's anger, which had just calmed down, burned with unforgivable rage. Luoluo, you and your sister go first, so as not to disturb your brother. Long Chao Chao knew that he couldn't persuade Su Xiao, so he persuaded Su Luoluo. She looked at the broken limbs all over the ground with worried eyes. She was not frightened by the bloody scene. As a lord, enduring bloodshed is a basic skill. It is a required course in every school. In the endless world, fighting and killing continue. The lord was seriously injured and needed to commit suicide to recover. Therefore, the psychological level is the most basic skill. Just like the beasts on the grassland, they are not frightened by blood. Because they spend their lives killing. I want to stay with my brother. Su Luoluo became stubborn. Hearing this, Su Xiao sighed and said, Luoluo, there will be a lot of blood along the way. Brother. Su Luoluo raised her head. I like to see blood. Hearing this, Su Xiao smiled. In that case, let me show you everything today. After saying that, he stood up and took Su Luoluo's little hand. Su Luoluo smiled happily. On the side, Long Chao Chao was stunned. Madman. Su Shen is crazy. Su Shen's sister is also a madman. By the way, Long Chao Chao, open the transaction panel. Su Xiao looked at Long Chao Chao. Su Shen, what are you going to do? Long Chao Chao didn't know why, but still followed Su Xiao's instructions and used the Tiandao terminal to open the transaction panel. Thank you for standing up for Luoluo. This skill book is given to you. Come on, Luoluo, I'll take you to see the blood. Su Xiao said and traded a copy of Lord's skills to Long Chao Chao. Long Chao Chao's eyes suddenly widened. The golden cover of the Lord's technique has 4 big characters written on it. Dragon Blood Merits. The grade displayed in the Tiandao terminal is Hiss. Legendary Samsung. Legendary. Legendary Lord Skills. Long Chao Chao was greatly shocked. There was no such technique in the world. Moreover, being able to give away such lord skills to others. Doesn't that mean that Su Xiao's own lord technique is more terrifying than the legendary 3-star? Long Chao Chao was dumbfounded, and her mind was in a state of panic. If this is the case, then how strong can Su Xiao be? If he comes back so late, he won't be fighting the monster wave in challenge mode, right? I have never heard of anyone being able to fight monster waves for so long. How many waves did he hit? Looking at Su Xiao and Su Luoluo's leaving figures, Long Chao Chao knew. Tonight, there will be an earthquake in Qingzhou. She hesitated, then limped along. When a miracle occurs, it would be a pity not to witness it with your own eyes. Look at the hemoptysis, look at the hemoptysis. Su Luoluo's silvery laughter echoed in the streets. Thanks for watching, please like and subscribe.